again, that goes back a long way. So when I was young, when I was 14, I got my first guitar with a friend of mine. His name was Rolando Rendon. It was Christmas, and we both got our first electric guitars, and we started a band, and you know, we were just horrible, but it was fun.
So I moved from Nacogdoches, Texas to Aledo, Texas, my junior year of high school. And when I got there, the first guy I met, he told me about this band that had just lost their guitarist. He had moved away.
We had our band, I guess, for a year and a half or so, and then my family moved. We moved from Aledo, Texas to San Antonio, Texas, where I graduated high school from San Antonio.
I met that night with Rolando, the other guitarist in the band, and we hit it off really well. And he said he wanted to introduce me to the drummer. And so he was DJing a party that night, the drummer was, and so we went up to there and to the party. He introduced me to the drummer, and he hated me from minute one for some, I don't know, I think he said I was a cocky, arrogant jerk, which he was probably right. Somehow, over time, we became friends. I don't know how, but anyways, I eventually, about 6 months later, I headed home. I went back to Nacogdoches.
I remember it was about a year after we moved away that Rolando died in a car accident. And when that happened, I picked up the guitar again. So I remember when I moved to San Antonio, I quit playing. You know, I didn't have a band, I didn't have anybody to play guitar, play music with, so I just stopped. But when he died, I felt like I needed to pick it back up again, and I did, and I just started writing songs. It's like I couldn't stop writing songs. And I went to Texas Tech for a year, pledged a fraternity up there, and then after that first year at Texas Tech, I went to moved to Houston, where my parents then lived, and I went to San Jacinto Junior College, and they had a really good program for sound recording, and I studied sound recording for a year. It was toward the end of that year that my old drummer that played in the band with Rolando and I when I was real young, he called me up and he said, "Hey, you know, you got to meet the guitar player that replaced you. His name's Jay Patterson."
I decided to move back for my senior year to Aledo and hooked back up with the drummer, and we started playing. And he told me about the original guitarist in the band, August, and we drove down to Houston to meet him.
So they came down to Houston, and Jay and I hit it off, and he and I started writing songs together. It's like I all of a sudden had someone to write songs with again.
We hit it off right away, and he ended up moving to Fort Worth.
Just kind of on a whim, they said move to Fort Worth, and the next weekend I did. And